Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with the 9th layout using the February Hip Kit. I'm showing you some of the stuff I might be using, the 6x6 paper pad from We Are Memory Keepers, some which I don't end up using the enamel dots, and some of those cut aparts from We Are Memory Keeper, and then that pattern paper, which I don't end up using. And then I'm showing you some of the die cuts, and then I had taken out a bunch of pictures to go with this layout. This was one of the ones that I had chosen at the very beginning and had, put pictures down. And what I ended up doing was, as I was finishing up layouts and some of the pictures that I didn't use, I would just use those pictures to do those extra layouts. I'm actually going to be starting layout 14 as soon as I'm done this recording, or shortly after. I might go to town first and get some groceries, a little bit of groceries and stuff, and go to Costco and Michael's. And but layout 14 will get done today. And I'm almost done with the kit. I might get maybe 14, 15, maybe 16 pages. We will see. I am running low on die cuts and embellishments. I have a bit of paper left, and I account that to having that 6x6 paper pad. I was able to use the paper pad for, the mounting of the pictures and the layering and everything. So I'm able to use the 12x12s for backgrounds and really stretching the kit. I do get the second pattern paper add-on, so I end up with 18 or 20 sheets of pattern papers. And then I also get the cardstock add-on, which has about 10 cardstock, which most of the time I don't end up using all the cardstock. I just like having cardstock, like what I'm going to use on this layout, which actually this is not even a cardstock that came in the cardstock add-on. It's from my stash. I'm going to mount the whole thing on black cardstock, and it is to ground the whole layout. So I'm using that, I believe that's My Mind's Eye pattern paper, and I love it. And I end up using that whole sheet by punching it out and using it on different layouts. And then this one here, I end up using it, the whole layout or the whole page, as little cut aparts too. So this kit, I ended up using 3 sheets that I cut up apart. I use that Dora ones, which is We Are Memory Keeper and We Are Memory Keepers, and then the pink dots, which is My Mind's Eye, and then the smaller dots, and I think that's We Are Memory Keeper too, but I'm not really sure. I ended up using that second sheet. I ended up using the background because to me that pattern paper is just too many colors on one sheet to use as one. And so I end up using the backside, which is a nice distress marbly looking pattern paper. So I'm going to gut the inside of that black cardstock because I go through black like crazy. So I just decide, no, I like to, even if I wouldn't have used it as to mount this whole sheet, I would have still gutted out the inside because I don't have 8.5 by 11. I stopped buying 8.5 by 11 a long time ago. I don't do 8.5 by 11 sheets, and a lot of times I will use pattern as my background. So what I do is I just gut the inside, and I use those to mat my photos. So, and basically that's all I used the 8.5 by 11 for, was to mount the photos. So now I'm trying to kind of sparingly use my stash, or that I don't have to keep buying 8.5 by 11 and 12 by 12. So I just buy the 12 by 12 and I gut the inside. So I mounted both photos on black cardstock. One is 4x6, and the other one I had taken a picture of the board game they were playing, and it's Monopoly Empire. And so I just cut around it, so I don't even know what size it is. It looks like maybe 4x3 or something like that. And then I'm just gonna put the picture so that one is overlapping the other. So I'm going to spend a few minutes to cut the rest of those circles in different colors. I'm going to use all the ones that are pink and black, and there's some white and gold, and I'm going to use them all on this layout, or quite a bit of them on this layout. So I can't remember if I mentioned it, but this layout took me 1 hour and 6 minutes to complete. Again, not a super fast one. I usually range between 50 minutes to 1.5 hours. Sometimes it goes even more than that, but that's usually, how long it takes me to do a layout. And I always watch something while I'm scrapping. Right now, I caught up on 4 of my, I can't say favorite shows because I love TV shows, but I did finally catch up on the originals, Vampire Diaries, Scandal, and Person of Interest. So I'm finally caught up on all those 4. And now, while I'm scrapping, I don't want to keep having to, find something to watch. So on Netflix, I have, I'm watching Witches of East End. Absolutely love it. I'm still in the first season, like episode 10 or something like that. And there's only 2 seasons, but that's okay. And then when I'm on the treadmill, I watch Bones. And so then it kind of forces me that if I want to watch Bones, I have to go on the treadmill every day. And that's sort of my motivator to go on the treadmill every day. So I stay on the treadmill every day, 1 hour. I usually do about 10,000 steps a day, but my goal is 8,500. So I go on the treadmill until I hit 8,500, and then the rest of the steps are just done around the house and or wherever. But that way it kind of motivates me to go on the treadmill. So what I'm doing right now is I'm using the paint that came in the kit, and it was a paint dabber from Ranger. And so I'm using it in different spots, and I'm also using the distress stain that we spun sugar that we got maybe 2 or 3 kits ago. So I love to keep that kind of stuff a little close. And I just got a Rascog, and I actually got 2, but I only put 1 together, and I have that next to my desk. And actually this weekend I want to kind of organize it, and basically the top bin I want to make it so it's for my project life, and then I want to make it that my mixed media stuff is in there. So I want my paints in there, and I want my distress stains, and I won't be able to put everything in there, but maybe I can rotate the stuff and then kind of get to use it a whole lot more. So once I have it all organized, I'll, because some people asked me what did I mean by that, and also the plastic trays that goes in them. So I'll make sure to do a video once it's organized. Now I'm using my Tombow multi glue, and I'm just going to glue some of those circles, and I'm just randomly gluing them. And this time, instead of sort of doing a background with them, what I'm doing is I'm doing places where I'm going to do clusters. So I'm using them a little different than I did last time. I'm using them as embellishment clusters on my layout. And that's what I said. Those circles, I just knew I just wanted to use them, over and over. I just want to be able to use them in different ways. So I'm going to use clusters, and then I'm going to use some of my die cuts that came in the Jubilee My Mind's Eye die cut pack, and I'm going to put them at each embellishment clusters. I also have some of those doors left, so I'm going to use them as grounding elements for my embellishment clusters. I have one little frame and it's paper, like it's a die cut. It's not a chipboard. And I'm also going to use that as an embellishment grounding element. I have some wood veneers that is left from Ellie Studio. I'm going to use 3 on this layout in 3 different clusters. And like I said, I'm going to be starting layout 14. And I'm going to try and finish this kit before I go back to work on Monday. Today's Saturday, the 28th, I believe. Yes, we're the 28th. And I want to finish my February kit before I go back to work. I'm going back on a 4-day rotation, which is 1 day, 3 nights. And my last rotation, if it's showing the last 2 rotations since I've been back to work, if it's anything like the last 2 rotations, I can't do anything when I get home. I just sleep and, get a little laundry done or dishes. And I do my treadmill every day. So the hour that I would be spending scrapbooking, I'm keeping my commitment to do my treadmill. So, but once I'm done that, I'm done. So at least I'm doing my treadmill and I do have a few pages ahead. So I'm feeling good with how many pages I'm getting done. By the end of March, I should be at 45 pages. And I think I'm going to be at probably 42. So that's pretty good. I'm a little behind, but not too bad. I do want to catch up on my project life. And well, I think so. Don't quote me on it, but I think good news for people that are project lifers. I was doing 1 page a month, and for February, I have too many pictures to do, or not 1 page, but a 2-page spread, and I have too many pages for that. So I think for February, I'm going to do a 4-page. So I know a lot of people, when they do their weekly, they do like 2-page spreads for 1 week, but I'm going to do like, let's say it's week 5, 6, 7, 8. So week 5 is going to have a page, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to try and do 2 pages on 1 video. We'll see how that works. So I'll do week 5 and 6 and then 7 and 8. I think that's how it should work out. I don't know if the first week of February is week 5, but we will see. So I plan on starting that this weekend too. So I finished with my clusters. Now I want to use that Dilution ink that we got in the color add-on. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to splatter with it a bit, but I'm also going to use the nozzle and just kind of do some squigglies on the page. And I like that. I like how it adds texture to the background. And that's what I like with using kits. It's because it's getting me to try, and especially the hip kit, because one of the add-ons that you can add is the color add-on. It's always like mixed media stuff. But then if you're not into that, that's cool too, because then you don't have to get the add-on. You can get the embellishment add-on or just the main kit, and then get what you need to do quite a bit of layouts. And I think even with just, let's say, the main kit, and if you got, let's say, the cardstock add-on or the paper add-on, one or the other, just to kind of stretch it a little bit more, you could probably get 6 to 8 layouts done. I usually get about 16 because I get the paper add-on and I get the embellishment kit, and like I said, the color add-on doesn't add to maybe doing extra pages, but it adds to the variety of pages that you can do. And I'm quite heavy on my embellishment, and I still get to do about 16 layouts done. So that's awesome. Anyway, this page was so hard to decide which side to use because I really love that wood grain, but I had used it on another layout, so I decided to use the black and white stripe. So this is where I kind of do a little bit of splatter, and then I'm going to take the nozzle and I'm going to start squiggling all over the place. And it just adds, like I said, just a little bit of texture and fun to the back of the layout. And now I'm looking at the chipboard stickers and I'm seeing if there's anything I can use, and I decide on that little flag thing. And these pictures are of camping last summer, and we had looked at the forecast and they were calling for rain. So what we did was the day before we were out shopping, so my daughter saw this Monopoly Empire and she wanted it for herself. So, and it was really cheap. It was like $7. So anyway, she got it. And so they had that while it was raining. It rained in the morning till about 1 or 2 or something. Then the sun came back out. But anyway, they played Monopoly all morning and they had a blast. And then the next time that we went shopping, we had to buy it again because then my son wanted it for us so that we would have it for our camping days, because they had a blast. And I just sat and watched them play and laughed at them because they're very competitive. So it was really funny. So the camera's going to die here, but basically all I did was add the title, Rainy Day Fun. And here are some close-ups of some of the embellishment clusters and the pages done. So if you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up just to let YouTube know. And I hope everyone is having a fabulous weekend. So thanks for watching. Bye.